Hello folks, Jonathan Milam here with a review of a Stomvi USA Trumpet. Excellent, excellent horn. I'll discuss more of the specs on this in just a moment, but I'm going to get off right now, start trying to play. And I'm using a Reeves 42C and very average sized mouthpiece. You could compare it to a 7C Bach or a 3C probably, in that ballpark. Of course, you know, Reeves leans a little towards probably the commercial sound. Great mouthpiece. I'm going to play Peter Nero's old The Look of Love. Just got to playing that while I was warming up, and we'll try and stick with that. Average mouthpiece, great song, tremendous horn, and as I mentioned, we'll be discussing it a little more later. Got a breadth of mouthpieces, which this is very mouthpiece sensitive. I think you'll enjoy if you're able to stick with us for the entire time of the video, and we'll get to playing right now. Great song, great song. Hard to know when to quit on that one. As I often do, I'm going to go to a deeper mouthpiece now and really think this is good. However, the next one is even better. This is a Reeves C2J, very much the trumpet flugel type sound, and we won't play too terribly long, just enough to let you know this trumpet can, it's the chameleon. The coat of many colors, if you please. Lots of options with this horn and the different mouthpieces and the sensitivity of the horn to them. Nice, very nice. Now, you know, for years I've played, in fact, one of the mouthpieces I've had longer than any others is Trent Austin's TATF, his, one of his early trumpet flugel pieces. And this one is, where the Reeves is an 11 drill, very, very large drill. This is more like a 24, perhaps a 23. But with this piece, I just wanted to illustrate, you get some of the grit of a real trumpet mouthpiece where you're pushing it, and still you get the reduced high harmonics and overtones, and it makes a real, I think this trumpet illustrates the potential of the mouthpiece to perhaps its fullest extent. So pretty. So pretty. Back when I was in high school, I had a girlfriend that loved to play the piano, Karen Gordon. Doubt if she's listening now. But we went to hear Peter Nero in a concert, small venue, Southern Illinois, probably in the midst of some cornfield city somewhere, and was such a impressive man. I only found out recently he led the Philadelphia Pops for years, but quite a musician. He played, might have sung just a little bit, but he wrote that song and certainly made a good impression on me. Okay, we played the Reeves 42C earlier, which is a good general mouthpiece. I'm going to play one just a bit shallower now, which I've really enjoyed recently. It's the Warburton 6MC, and a little tighter cup, a little shallower cup, much more of a raise at the bottom of the cup to give you a little more pop and sparkle. You know what? I'll just switch songs. Was thinking here a while back, what can I play? I was on my way home from work and just remembered, I remember when my burdens rolled away. I had carried them for years, night and day. Wonderful old gospel song. Remember singing this in church frequently. Went to church 5 times a week because my dad was a Pentecostal pastor when I was in high school. And we probably sang this at least 2 or 3 times a week. Just kidding, maybe 2 or 3 times a month. I remember when my burdens rolled away. On and on, those burdens just keep rolling away. The more you play, the further they get from you. Okay, last mouthpiece that I'll try is a shallow one. Give this horn just a little bit of bite. And this is the Warburton 6 shallow with their 6 backbore. It's hard to imagine me forgetting to talk, but I did want to mention a few things about this horn. Casper Skenzis, I believe, is the leader of the Stomvi USA work. I think they're located somewhere out in the lovely state of Colorado, or California, excuse me. They had some Stomvi parts, and so they put this horn together, and the work they did on it is really impressive. I had this horn a year ago, and then a friend of mine up in Canada had it. Look at the gold on that. Just a little bit of wear on this one here, but such a beautiful, and they finished making these in 2008, so it's at least 13 years old. Wonderful, big bell, just the shade as I measure it, over 5 inches. I'd say it's a medium-large bell. It's certainly not a tight Binge 2 type thing. Lead pipe, and I don't have the details on it. I'm not sure that they actually kept records. They used a lot of these. They said had the number 3 lead pipe from Stomvi and the number 25 bell. But the fact that this has a 27 on it makes me wonder if perhaps it's a 27 bell, and they also marked it as a 27 coming out of the first valve in the bell ferrule there. Just wonderful Stomvi USA markings on it. But the great horn I love. I really do like the bump here that they put so you don't pull your first slide off all the way. The stop, I guess they call it. Long third slide. Long third slide. I'm pretty sure you can hit the F on this at the bottom of your scale without any problem at all. And similarly, I noticed the first time that I had it, really, they were not skimpy with the tuning slide here. You know, some companies, they give you so little to work with there, it just makes you wonder, were they running out of brass? But very, very well put together horn. Slightly over the middle mark as far as weight goes. Not what I'd call a heavy horn, but not light. Just a little over the middle of the road. And with the 5-inch bell, I would think. The metal that they used on this is probably a medium gauge, maybe a little on the lighter side. Casper in one email said that lead players enjoy the horn quite a bit. But I was thinking, I've got a Bach Strad 43 here. It just doesn't get that gritty, forced sound that you get with sometimes your 43 lightweight bell, which is what I've got. It just maintains its fullness regardless where you're playing. Wonderful horn. I think it's quite mouthpiece sensitive, and you've heard it with 5 mouthpieces, so you can agree with me there or not. We like that in the comments, if you please. Kind of a D-type on the tuning slide. Wonderful horn, just a tremendous horn, and one that I'm glad to have my hands on and at least a little bit of time to have made this YouTube video. As always, we appreciate you touching base in the comments below. I've got a plethora of horns. Got a Bench 3 that came in yesterday. Got a Wild thing that I need to make a video of. And just a number of things that I'd love to get to in the future, and I'm sure will. Take care as always. Thanks for tuning in. We love the thumbs up, and I think Google does too. Have a great day.